Open your mind. Let the conversation begin.
All right, I want you to do something for me before we even start.
Okay.
I want you to take a breath. A real one. Not that, shallow chest-level panting we do while we're checking emails.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a deep, diaphragm-filling breath. Hold it for a second and just let it out.
I can practically hear the collective sigh of relief across the internet.
We made it. It's Friday, or at least we're going to actively pretend it is for the next hour or so.
I am 100% on board with that plan.
The week is done. The deadlines are what they are. We are dialing the RPMs way, way down.
That sounds like exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
I think we spend so much of our lives in high gear, just reacting to things, that we forget what neutral feels like.
Exactly. So welcome back to the deep dive. This is a special one. We're calling this Simple Wisdom from the Dust Trail, Part 2.
Part 2.
Now, if you were with us for Part 1, you know exactly the vibe we are going for here. If you weren't, don't worry. You don't need the prequel to understand a sequel.
Not at all. But the atmosphere is.
Yeah.
It's specific. We aren't in a lecture hall today. We're not in a boardroom.
Not at all.
We aren't even really in a studio. Mentally, I want you to picture us sitting on a wooden porch.
Okay, I'm there.
The sun is going down, casting those long, lazy shadows across the yard. Maybe there's a little dust kicking up in the distance where the horses are settling in.
Can we hear crickets? I feel like we need crickets.
Definitely crickets. Just starting to chirp.
Yeah.
And we're just rocking in chairs, maybe holding a cold drink, just talking about life.
I love that image. It changes how you listen, doesn't it? It stops being information intake and it starts being a conversation.
Yeah.
And specifically, we are talking about a topic that feels really necessary right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a deep dive into the concept of the proper man.
The proper man.
Yeah,
It's a phrase with some weight to it. It feels substantial.
it does. And I want to clarify something right off the bat before anyone tunes out or, gets the wrong idea.
Good idea.
Yes, the source material we are looking at today is explicitly directed at men. It's about masculinity. It's about that specific experience. But, and this is a big but,
A very big but.
the virtues we are going to walk through, they are universal.
Oh, absolutely. Whether you're a man, a woman, young, old, this is about character. It's about how to stand tall in a world that kind of wants you to hunch over.
Hunch over, yeah.
It's about effectiveness.
Well said. So let's introduce our guide for this evening. We are going back to the source. Dwayne from the Dry Creek Wrangler School.
Dwayne.
The legend. If you haven't seen his videos, you are missing out on something really unique. This isn't a guy with a PowerPoint presentation. He's usually standing in a barn or out in a paddock. He's got the cowboy hat, the scarf, the wild rag, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
But it's not a costume. It's his life. And the way he talks, it's just so grounded.
That's the word, grounded. He's not citing peer-reviewed studies from the Ivy League. He's not giving you a graph of, socioeconomic. He's talking about lived experience. It's practical, no-nonsense wisdom that feels like it was earned through hard work, sweat, and just paying attention to the world around him.
And today we're unpacking a video of his titled The 5 Pillars of the Proper Man.
Which, again, it feels a little old school. Proper man. It sounds like something your grandfather would say while fixing a fence,
It really does. And here's the thing that hooked me immediately. And I want to get your take on this because it sets the stage for everything else.
Okay.
Dwayne starts by saying something that I think goes against a lot of modern messaging. He says these qualities, these pillars, are not innate. You aren't just born with them.
Right. And that is such a crucial distinction. We often talk about personality traits as if they're lottery tickets.
Yeah, like, oh, he's just a naturally good guy, or she's just naturally calm.
Exactly. We treat character like eye color. Dwayne pushes back on that hard. He views becoming a proper man as a construction project.
A construction project. I really like that framing.
It implies work. It implies blueprints. It implies that if you stop working on the building, it falls into disrepair.
Right.
He talks about continuous effort. You don't just become a man of value by aging. You don't get a participation trophy for breathing for 40 years.
You don't.
You build it brick by brick, day by day.
So it's active, not passive. You can't just coast into being a good man.
Precisely. If you coast, you go downhill.
Right.
That's just physics.
True.
To go uphill, to build something structurally sound, requires force and intent.
Okay, so we have 5 pillars to get through, and I want to take our time with these. We aren't rushing. Let's really chew on them.
Sounds good.
The roadmap looks like this. We're going to talk about being good, being dangerous, being educated, being calm, and being wise.
Good, dangerous, educated, calm, and wise. It's quite the list.
It is. And some of those might sound contradictory. Dangerous and good.
Right.
Dangerous and calm. I feel like dangerous is going to require some serious explanation.
Oh, yeah. That's where it gets fascinating. That paradox is the heart of the whole philosophy.
Okay, so let's jump into the first one, pillar number 1. Be a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, honestly, this sounds simple, be a good boy, right? We hear that in kindergarten. It sounds like the baseline.
It does.
But Dwayne isn't talking about just following the rules, is he?
No, and this is a trap a lot of people fall into. This is probably the most common misconception about morality in the modern world.
How so?
We tend to equate goodness with the absence of badness.
Right. Like, I didn't rob a bank today, I didn't scream at a puppy, so I'm a good person.
Exactly. If I don't insult my neighbor, if I don't break the law, then I am good. Dwayne says no. That isn't goodness. That is just being harmless.
Marvelous.
That's just being neutral.
Okay, let's unpack that, because that feels like a distinction that could hurt some feelings.
Mm-hmm.
What is the actual difference between a harmless man and a good man?
Well, goodness, in the way Dwayne defines it, it requires agency. It requires action.
An outward focus.
Yes. He's talking about proactive kindness. It's not about what you don't do. It's about what you do.
So a harmless man is like...
A rock in a field. It doesn't hurt anyone, but it doesn't help anyone either. It just occupies space. A good man is a force.
He gives some really specific, almost small examples in the source to illustrate this. He talks about checking in on a cashier.
Right. And I love this example because it's so mundane. It's so everyday.
We've all been there. You're in the checkout line. It's 5:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. Everyone is tired.
Everyone's exhausted.
The cashier looks exhausted. Maybe a customer just yelled at them about a coupon. Being neutral is just scanning your items, staring at your phone, paying, and leaving.
And let's be clear. There is nothing wrong with that. You haven't committed a sin. You haven't been bad.
Right.
But you haven't been good. You've
Yeah.
just processed a transaction.
So what does the good man do?
The good man wakes up. He steps out of his own little bubble of fatigue. He looks the cashier in the eye, human to human, and asks, hey, how are you holding up? You doing okay?
And actually listens to the answer.
And actually listens. Yeah. It's treating service workers, or anyone really, with humanity. It's recognizing that there is another soul on the other side of that counter.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes effort. It takes a tiny bit of emotional energy to extend that kindness. It's easier to be a zombie. It's easier to just be harmless.
It is.
Being good requires you to spend a little bit of yourself to lift someone else up.
Another example he gives, which hits hard if you live in a cold climate, is shoveling a neighbor's sidewalk.
The classic. Yes.
But think about it. It's freezing. You're tired. You just finished your own driveway. Your back hurts.
Oh, yeah.
It is infinitely easier to go inside and have a cocoa. No one would blame you. You aren't a bad man for going inside.
Not at all. You have no legal obligation to shovel Bob's walk.
Right. You haven't done anything wrong.
But the proper man, according to Dwayne, sees the snow on the neighbor's walk. Maybe they're elderly. Maybe they're a single mom. Maybe they're just swamped at work. And he does it.
And he doesn't do it for credit.
No. Not to be thanked. He doesn't knock on the door and say, look at me.
That's the nice guy seeking validation.
Right. He does it because he can and because it helps. He does it because he takes a level of ownership over his community. He wants his street to be clear.
It's that transition from, I didn't cause a problem, to, I solved a problem.
That's a great way to put it. Goodness is a positive force. It adds value to the environment.
Okay, so?
Think about it this way. If you removed a harmless man from a community, things would just stay the same. The silence would just be silent.
Right.
But if you removed a good man, the community would actually suffer.
Yeah.
The sidewalks wouldn't get shoveled. The cashier wouldn't feel seen.
There would be a deficit.
A deficit, exactly.
Yeah.
The stray dog wouldn't get returned.
That hits home. It makes you look at your own day and ask, if I wasn't here, would anyone notice the lack of good things happening? I mean, listener, think about this for a second. We're on the porch, we're reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you went out of your way to do a small, unasked for kindness?
And was it a one-time thing, or is it a lifestyle?
Yeah.
Because Dwayne emphasizes that continuous effort.
Right.
You don't shovel the walk once in 1995 and say, well, I'm a good man. Check that box. I'm done.
I paid my dues to the universe.
It doesn't work like that. It's a habit. It's a posture toward the world. It's walking around with your head up, looking for opportunities to be useful.
Useful. I like that word. It strips the ego out of it. Okay, so that's pillar 1. Be good. Proactive goodness.
Right.
Now we have to pivot, and this is a hard pivot. Pillar 2. This is the one that made me sit up in my chair and rewind the video.
I have a feeling I know which one this is.
Pillar 2. Be a dangerous man.
Yes.
There it is.
Now, I have to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
In this day and age, telling men to be dangerous feels risky.
It does.
We hear about toxic masculinity constantly. We see violence in the news. We see aggression. When Dwayne says be dangerous, is he telling guys to go start bar fights? Is he saying we need to be aggressive? Absolutely not. And he clarifies this immediately because he knows how that word lands. He is not talking about being a threat to your community.
Okay.
He's not talking about being a bully or an aggressor. He is talking about capability.
Capability.
He uses this analogy that I think is just brilliant. If you take one thing away from this deep dive, let it be this image.
I'm ready.
He talks about the Great Pyrenees.
The dog.
The dog. For those who don't know, the Great Pyrenees is a livestock guardian dog. They are massive. They can weigh well over 100 pounds.
And they look like giant, white, fluffy clouds.
Exactly. They look like big marshmallows. And if you watch a Great Pyrenees with a flock of sheep, what do you see?
They're just chilling.
They are gentle. They are patient. The lambs can climb all over them. They are a calming presence. They are completely safe to the sheep.
Oh.
But why are they there? They aren't there to be pillows. They are there because wolves exist.
Right.
They're there because coyotes exist.
Yeah.
If a threat comes out of the tree line, that fluffy cloud turns into a warrior.
The switch flips.
The switch flips. They are capable of lethal force. They are fearless. They will engage the threat with absolute ferocity to protect that flock.
That is the duality. Soft with the sheep, lethal to the wolf.
That is the definition of the dangerous man Dwayne is talking about.
Huh.
Now imagine a dog that is just fluffy. A dog that is nice and sweet but has no teeth. No fight in him.
A golden retriever who just wants a belly rub from the burglar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the wolf comes, what happens to that dog?
If it's eaten.
And then the sheep get eaten. So if the dog or the man is not dangerous, if he is not capable of harm, his pacifism isn't a virtue.
Wow.
It's just a lack of options.
Just a lack of options. That's a heavy thought. So the virtue isn't in being harmless. The virtue is in being dangerous, but keeping it under strict control.
Precisely. This is an old philosophical idea, actually. You might hear it phrased as, it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
I've heard that.
If you are incapable of violence, if you are physically weak or mentally fragile or just terrified of conflict, your niceness isn't really a moral choice.
It's just what you have to do.
You have to be nice because you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
You are nice because you are helpless.
That is a sting to the ego, but it makes a lot of sense. If I'm only polite because I'm terrified of what happens if I'm not, that's just fear. That's not goodness.
Right. But if you are dangerous, if you have the physical ability to handle a threat and the mindset to stand between your family and danger, and then you choose to be gentle,
that's different.
that is virtue. That is discipline. That is the Great Pyrenees lying down with the lambs.
Let's break down the requirements here because Dwayne mentions 2 specific things: physical ability and mindset.
Yes.
Physical ability seems straightforward, but I think a lot of us ignore it. We work desk jobs, we sit in cars. Dwayne is saying you need to be fit enough to actually do something.
It's practical. He's not saying you need to be an Olympic weightlifter. He's not saying you need to be a Navy SEAL.
Right.
But if a situation arises, whether it's a physical altercation or a natural disaster or just an emergency where you need to lift something heavy off someone, you need to be physically capable. You cannot be a liability.
Don't be a liability. That's a good mantra. If you are the one who needs saving, you can't be the protector.
Exactly. You need a baseline of strength and endurance to be useful in a crisis.
And then the mindset. This feels harder to train than the body.
Oh, much. The mindset is the resolve. It's the willingness to face the wolf. It's that switch in the brain that says, I love peace, I want peace, I'll do everything to keep the peace. But if you threaten my flock, I will stop you.
That is a scary thing to acknowledge.
It is. Most modern people are terrified of their own capacity for aggression. We try to repress it. We pretend it's not there.
Right.
But Dwayne is saying, no, don't repress it. Cultivate it and then control it.
It reminds me of that line. A proper man is a sanctuary for his family because he is a fortress against the world.
Beautifully put. You can't be a sanctuary if the walls are made of paper. You have to be strong enough to keep the bad stuff out, so the good stuff can thrive inside.
Yeah, garden without a fence.
If it gets trampled, you need the fence. The dangerous man is the fence.
So we have goodness, proactive kindness, and we have dangerousness, controlled capability for protection.
Yeah.
They actually balance each other, don't they?
They have to. A dangerous man without goodness is just a villain. That's a bully. That's a tyrant.
And a good man without dangerousness
Is ineffective in a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice guy, but he can't help you when the wolves come. You need both.
Which brings us to pillar 3. This one might seem a little drier compared to fighting off wolves, but Dwayne makes it sound essential.
It really is.
Pillar 3, be educated.
Again, we have to define terms here because words have baggage.
Right, because when I hear educated, I think student loans. I think diplomas on the wall. I think lecture halls and tenure.
And Dwayne is quick to pivot away from that. He explicitly says this is not about formal schooling.
Thank goodness.
You can have a PhD and be functionally illiterate in the ways of the world. And you can never have finished high school and be incredibly educated in the way Dwayne means it.
So what is he looking for? What does an educated man look like on the dust trail?
He views the brain as a muscle. Use it or lose it. If you stop learning, you atrophy.
Also, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle of curiosity and competence.
He lists some really interesting areas to focus on. One of them, which I personally struggle with, is learning about your vehicle.
Mechanical sympathy. It's a lost art for many of us.
Guilty. I mean, my car makes a noise and I just turn up the radio and pray.
We've all been there.
Dwayne would probably look at me with disappointment.
He might. But think about the mindset there. It's not just about saving money on a mechanic. It's about self-reliance. He says, I rely on this machine to move me and my family through the world. I should understand how it works.
It goes back to that helpless versus capable theme. If I break down on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, am I helpless? Am I a damsel in distress? Or do I have enough education to at least diagnose the problem, maybe fix it, or at least talk intelligently to the tow truck driver?
Exactly. It's about not being a passenger in your own life. He also talks about deepening knowledge in your trade. Whatever you do, whether you're a wrangler, a coder, a plumber, a writer, don't just coast.
Don't just coast. That feels like the theme of the episode.
It really is. Learn the history of your craft. Learn the new tools. Be a master of what you do.
Don't just punch the clock.
Right. Understand the why behind your work.
And reading. He's big on reading, which I love because there's this stereotype of the cowboy or the working man as the strong, silent type who doesn't need books.
And Dwayne shatters that.
He does.
He says reading is how you engage with the world. It's how you get perspectives outside your own fence line. If you only know what you see in your own zip code, your world is very, very small.
Reading expands the map.
It does. It's the antidote to stagnation.
That's the key. Stagnation is the enemy.
A proper man is always growing. If you are the exact same person today that you were 5 years ago, same skills, same knowledge, same opinions, same prejudices, you aren't holding steady, you're falling behind.
Right. The world is moving.
And you need to move with it.
So, listener, quick check-in. What is on your nightstand right now? What are you reading? Or what is the last YouTube video you watched that was actually instructional, not just entertainment?
Are you feeding the muscle or just letting it atrophy?
It's about being interesting, too.
Yes. A man who learns things is a man who has things to talk about. He has depth. He brings something to the table other than complaints about the weather.
Okay, let's move to pillar 4. This one felt very personal to Dwayne. He admitted this was a struggle for him.
It was.
He didn't preach this from a mountaintop. He shared it as a guy who had to learn it the hard way.
Yeah, he was very vulnerable about this.
Pillar 4, be calm.
In the modern world, this might be the hardest one on the list.
Oh, absolutely. We are wired for agitation. Our phones are buzzing. The news is screaming, crisis, crisis. The traffic is honking.
Every systems are fried.
Totally fried. And Dwayne says, no, be calm.
He describes it as a journey. He wasn't born calm. He had to build it. And notice the connection to the dangerous man pillar. We have to link these.
Right.
If you are a dangerous man, if you have that capability for lethal force, if you are that Great Pyrenees, you must be calm.
A frantic protector is a liability.
Exactly. Think about it. A frantic man with a weapon or just a frantic man with big muscles is terrifying in the wrong way.
He's unpredictable.
He's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
He's the guy who escalates a road rage incident into a tragedy because he couldn't keep his cool.
Right.
A proper man needs to be the eye of the storm.
Mm.
When everyone else is freaking out, when the sheep are running in circles, he is the one checking the exits, assessing the situation, and making a plan.
He lowers the temperature of the room just by being there.
Yes.
So how do we get there? Because just calm down is terrible advice. It never works.
Laughing. Never.
If you tell my wife to just calm down, you're taking your life into your own hands.
It's universally bad advice. You can't just will yourself to be calm in the moment. You have to prepare for it.
So what's his plan?
Dwayne gives us a tactical plan. He talks about eliminating stressors. It's an elimination diet for your mind.
He mentions the news specifically.
Negative news cycles. If you are constantly injecting fear, outrage, and panic into your brain every morning with your coffee, how can you expect to be calm?
You can't.
You are literally poisoning your own well. He says, turn it off. You don't need to know every bad thing happening on the planet every second.
He also talks about conflict-driven people.
We all know them. People who thrive on drama. People who are always in a feud.
The agent of chaos.
Yes. People who need there to be a problem so they can feel alive. Dwayne says, cut them out, or at least strictly minimize your exposure. You become like the company you keep. If your circle is frantic, you will be frantic.
And then the physical stuff, sugar and caffeine.
Such practical advice. If you are jacked up on stimulants, your nervous system is on a hair trigger. It's hard to be the Great Pyrenees resting with the sheep if your hands are shaking from your fourth energy drink.
You're priming yourself for anxiety.
Physiologically, yes, you are.
He also suggests proactive steps, not just culling things out, but adding things in.
Right, like listening to peaceful music.
Curating your environment.
Exactly. It's not just about removing the bad, it's about inputting the good. What are you listening to on the drive home? Is it angry talk radio that makes you want to punch the dashboard? Or is it something that lowers your blood pressure?
It's seeing calmness not as an emotion you wait for, but as a discipline you practice.
That is the takeaway. Calm is a discipline. It is a muscle. You curate your life, your diet, your media, your friends to facilitate peace.
Why?
Because a calm man is a clear-thinking man. And a clear-thinking man is an effective man.
Which leads us perfectly into the final pillar, pillar 5.
The capstone.
Be wise.
Wisdom.
Now, we just talked about being educated. A lot of people use these words interchangeably. He's smart, he's wise, he's educated.
Yeah, they get lumped together.
But Dwayne draws a very clear line. How is wisdom different from education?
It's the difference between the library and the street. Education or knowledge is having the facts. It is raw data.
Okay.
Wisdom is knowing how to apply those facts.
And he uses the greatest analogy for this. I laughed out loud when I heard it because it's so cheesy but so accurate.
The tomato.
Break it down for us.
Okay, so knowledge is knowing that a tomato is biologically a fruit. That is a fact. You are educated if you know that.
You can pass the botany test.
You pass the test. Wisdom is knowing not to put a tomato in a fruit salad.
Facts. It's so simple.
It is. But think about the implications. You can be the smartest guy in the room. You can know all the technical definitions. You can cite the laws. But if you put a tomato in the fruit salad, you have ruined the dessert.
You failed the social test.
You lack wisdom.
It's about context. It's about reading the room.
Exactly. Wisdom is the bridge between the facts and the real world.
Yeah.
It's understanding how things fit together, not just what they are.
And it applies to more than just food.
Oh, yeah. It's knowing that just because you can say something, or just because something is technically true, doesn't mean it needs to be said right now.
Dwayne talks a lot about speech in this section.
Yes. Restraint.
Knowing the answer, but knowing when to say it.
Or when not to say it.
Yeah.
We live in a culture of hot takes.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion, and everyone feels the need to broadcast it immediately.
Instantly.
A wise man, according to Dwayne, pauses. He thinks, is this true? Is this helpful? Is this the right time? Is this the right audience?
It goes back to being calm, doesn't it? The frantic man blurts out everything he knows. The wise man waits.
And he considers the impact of his words. Words carry weight, especially if you are a dangerous man, a capable man, a leader in your home. Your words can crush people, or they can build them up. Wisdom is handling that power with care. It's realizing that your voice is a tool, not a toy.
So silence and timing are components of wisdom.
Huge components. Sometimes the wisest thing you can say is nothing at all. Just listening, just being the rock in the stream.
Okay, let's look at the whole picture here. We have the 5 pillars on the table. Let me recap them.
Let's do it.
1, be good, that proactive kindness. 2, be dangerous, the capable protector, the Great Pyrenees. 3, be educated, the continuous learner. 4, be calm, the disciplined peace. And 5, be wise.
Don't put the tomato in the fruit salad.
Exactly. When you lay them out like that, you start to see the web connecting them. They aren't isolated boxes.
Not at all.
Let's connect those dots. How do they interact? Because it feels like if you lose one, the others start to crumble.
Well, start with educated. You need to be educated to have the raw materials, the knowledge.
Right.
But knowledge is useless without wisdom to apply it correctly.
Right. No tomatoes in the fruit salad.
Exactly. But applying wisdom requires a clear head. You can't make wise decisions. You can't read the room if you're panicking. So you need to be calm.
And why do you need to be calm?
Because you are dangerous. You have capability, you have force, you have teeth. You need calmness and wisdom to restrain that dangerousness, to ensure it's only unleashed when absolutely necessary.
When the wolf is actually at the door.
Correct.
And what guides all of that? What makes sure the dangerousness is used for the right reasons? What prevents you from just being a smart, calm, dangerous villain?
Goodness. That proactive desire to help, to serve.
It all comes back to that.
It has to. If you are dangerous and calm, but you aren't good, you're a cold-blooded mercenary. If you are good and wise, but not dangerous, you're a well-meaning observer who can't help when things get physical.
You need all five to make it work.
You need all five to be what Dwayne calls the effective man.
The effective man. That's the goal.
It's not just about self-improvement so you can look in the mirror and feel cool. It's about utility. Are you useful?
Are you effective?
Are you effective for your family? For your community? Can people rely on you?
Effective is such a pragmatic word. It strips away the ego. It just asks, do you work? Does your character function in the real world?
And that ties back to the beginning, the construction project. You build this effective man so that you can leave a significant positive impact. That is the mission.
You're building a legacy, not just a personality.
That's it.
It's a Friday thought, isn't it? It's something to take into the weekend.
Absolutely.
We're sitting on this imaginary porch. The sun is down now. The air is cooling off. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And I want to remind everyone, just like Dwayne does, this is continuous effort. If you listen to this and thought, man, I am failing at 3 of these, that's okay.
That's better than okay. That's the starting point. You don't fail by not having them perfectly right now. You fail by not trying to build them. Today is a great day to lay a brick. Go shovel a walk, read a chapter of a book, do 10 push-ups. Turn off the news.
Just start.
Just start.
I want to leave you with a question to chew on this weekend. We talked about the Great Pyrenees, the dog that is calm with the flock, but dangerous to the wolf.
The balance.
I want you to look at your life through that lens. Where is your imbalance right now?
That's a good question.
Are you too aggressive with the sheep? Are you bringing that dangerous energy into the living room where it doesn't belong? Snapping at your kids, looking for fights? Being harsh.
Or the inverse. Are you too passive against the wolves? Are you letting things slide that you should be standing up against?
Are you unprepared?
Are you unprepared for a crisis? Are you hiding in the middle of the flock when you should be on the perimeter?
Where do you need to adjust the dial? More sheepdog or more warrior?
It's a constant calibration.
Yeah.
And it's worth doing.
It is. Thank you for hanging out with us on the deep dive today. This was a good one. I feel settled.
A pleasure as always. Stay dangerous and stay good.
We'll see you next time.
Don't need tattoos to show you tough. Don't need a fight to prove enough. It's in the way you hold the line, helping folks who ain't your kind. Be a man among men. Hold your ground, don't pretend. Lift the weak, don't chase the fame. Let your honor speak your name. Talk low, walk true, that's what real men do. Be a man among men. Be a man among men. Pride'll guard you, ego bites, but they'll leave you alone at night. The real ones don't need a crown, they just show up and hold it down. Be a man among men. Be a man among men. You look like the crowd, but you're wired deep, like a sheepdog hiding among the sheep. You ain't loud, but when it's time, you're the fire that holds the line. Be a man among men. Hold your ground, don't pretend. Lift the weak, don't chase the fame. Let your honor speak your name. Talk low, walk true, that's what a real man do. Be a man among men. Be a man among men. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be a look like the crowd, but you're wired deep, like a sheepdog hiding among the sheep. You ain't loud, but when it's time, you're the fire that holds the line. Be a man among men. Hold your ground, don't pretend. Lift the weak, don't chase the fame. Let your honor speak your name. Talk low, walk true, that's what real men do. Be a man